Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Thydee. In this video I'll be showing you how to draft a pattern for this beautiful design on your screen. It's very simple, believe me, and let's get started. Now you're going to contour this bodice a little. You may not really contour it the way you contour your native wears, maybe lace and all of that. I should be kind of known. So, but you can do it actually depends on what you want. So, but I don't want the contouring to be too much. So I'll just go by just 3/8 of an inch on both sides. All right. So from here, I'll come out by 3/8. So you can contour it anyhow you like it. So I'll just go by 3/8 of an inch. And I'll go by 3/8 of an inch here as well. Or I can do like half. I can do like half here. Let me do half here. Let me do half here as well. So but 3/8 is not bad at all. Okay, so then I can just curve it. So you can actually do it anyhow you want it, for me. So instead of just doing it, just like bring it like this. Okay, so then all right, so can you see what I have? So it's a bit curvy. I don't want to paint it too much, but you can just make it curvier, you know, more than this on this side. Make this side curvier, that's what I mean. So instead of using a pen, let me just use pencil. This place has to be a bit curvier, but it doesn't really matter actually. Anyway, let me leave it like that. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to connect to the waist. You can see how it looks. This is my underbust, so don't forget that. UB underbust. This is my waistline, and this is my bust line. Bust line is my true bust line. Yes, true bust line. That's the real bust line. Okay, so the usual line that is here is majorly the chest line. So, but some people call it bust line, but that's not the true bust line. This is the true bust line. Okay, and my nipple to nipple divided by 2 is somewhere around here. Okay, so for me, I'm going to go up a little by 1 inch. So, but it is either you maintain the bust line or you go up by 1 inch. Okay, so and you, with the help of your curve ruler, then you can just connect to this point. You need to also shape this part as well. So I'll just come in by 2 inches. From here, 2 inches, just come in by 2 or even 2.5. So depending on what you want, or maybe 1.5. So it all depends on you. You can do 1.5, you can do 2 inches. Okay, so right now, this is the side dart. So I'm going to, I want to connect this point to meet this point. But before I can do that, let me just turn this way. And I'm going to fold it. I'm going to fold this. I have pinned it down. Can you see? I have folded the darts, and this is what I have. So I'll just push it up. Okay, so can you see what I have now? This is it. Okay, this is what I have. Of course, I have marked this point from here to here. I measured 2 inches. So I'm going to just come here to the bust point, because from here, from the center front to the bust point is 4 inches. So from here, I'm going to just measure 4.5 from this point towards this side, so that I'll be able to, you know, curve, draw my curve line to match up with this on the under bust line. I hope you understand my point. So that's 4.5. And mind you, I want to say that, you know, according to the way we're being created, our bust is fuller on the side than on the middle part. I hope you understand. So instead of measuring or adding half an inch to the bust pan divided by 2, which is 4 inches in my case, I would rather add 1 inch. Okay, so and this also depends on how busty the person is. So if it's a small size person, then you can just maintain the 4.5. But if the person is on the big side or is a plus side, then you need to also reconsider that and, you know, decide to add half an inch more, okay, to it, to make 1 inch allowance altogether. I hope you understand. So right now, instead of measuring 4 inches or 4.5 from here towards this side, I'll measure 5 inches. Okay. I think it's fine this way, so I can easily just connect like this. Okay, then like this. So let me just put it this way so that I can do my connection. So I just place it to the under bust, you know, then to this. So I think I will, instead of measuring from here 2 inches inward, I'll rather go by the line that the curve ruler is giving me. Okay, I hope you understand my point. So let me just, so if I'm to do it this way, then it's going to be like this. Like this. This is my point. Okay. Can you see? Then I will just connect like that instead of connecting to this. Well, you can do that anyway. So, but I think it's not that bad like this. Okay, let me see how it will look if I am to. This is fine. This is not bad. So instead of just, you know, trying to connect to this point that I marked like that, I think, you know, placing the curve, and this is what the curve is giving me, straight to hit the armhole. I think it's not bad. Maybe when I'm done sewing and I see that, oh, I would have done it, is fine. But there's always the first try. Okay, now I can cut, and then we'll see what next to do. Okay, let me just go in by half. Okay, and I think I will just come down by probably half. Okay, and just place the curve, the neckline that you have, or you just simply go in by half. So can you see what I did here? So which means this side is not, you know, out. Okay, if this side was to be out, that means it will be coming this way, and it will look somehow loose. So but I think it's okay this way. And on the back pattern, I'm going to go in by half an inch because the shoulder must be the same, and I'll come down from the back pattern by half an inch as well. Yeah, so because the back pattern, the depth is already 1 inch, so I can just come down by half an inch more or quarter of an inch more. Any one you choose to use is beautiful. All right, now let me go ahead and cut this. Okay, I'm going to open up the darts. So I'll be sewing the dart to this point on the fabric, and I will sew this as well. Okay, so, and this is going to remain permanently closed. So I'm going to tape together. So can you see what I have? And I'm going to tape this as well. I have taped this down. I have taped this part down. Okay, so, and I'm going to just open this up. So this is what I have, and I'll just place it, put my my sewing allowance and stitch it round. So this is also going to be stitched. All right, this is my back pattern. Okay, so I am going to go in on the neck point now. So I'll go in by half an inch because I did the same on the front pattern. I had already added my sewing allowance, so I can still do it on the sewing allowance or maybe on the main shoulder. Okay, so I can just measure half an inch on the sewing allowance and connect this way. Okay, so, and I will come down. This is optional, but I can come down by half an inch on the neckline. Okay, so, and with the help of my ruler, I'll connect this point and this point together. I'll just go up by quarter of an inch and draw it. This is going to be the same allowance. So this one I'm going to just clean off. All right, so this is my new neckline. Let me just add my seam allowance of quarter of an inch, and this is going to also have a facing. I'm going to just fold the zipper allowance in so that I can cut my neckline. So I have cut this, can you see? I added quarter of an inch allowance to it. Okay, so I folded the zipper allowance before cutting. All right, so I can now start cutting. So when I'm done cutting, I would cut the fabric pieces. What you will do is to place, this is organza, you place it here on it and stitch round just to make it one piece. Okay, and if you think you can avoid stitching round and you can just work with it the way it is, fine. So but I would just advise, if you're a beginner, that you stitch around to make it one piece. And next, this place would have been stitched. Okay, you stitch here, stitch like that round. Then the very first thing you do after doing that is to sew this. Okay, is to sew this. I've added seam allowance, so you just sew it like this. Okay, and after sewing this way, you also do justice to the darts. Bring the darts together and stitch just the way I did here. I haven't stitched this one, I only pinned it. You can see what I did here, and you can see what I did here as well. Okay, so and once I'm done stitching, then we'll know the next thing to do.